हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्णा।
यस, हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
अभी टाइम है ना प्रभु जी?
हाँ, टाइम है। मैं स्क्रीन शेयर कर दूंगा, लेकिन जब महाराज आएंगे तब आपको करना है, ठीक है?
ओके प्रभु।
Spiritual world with so many devotees extending their heartfelt prayers and their efforts. I would like to express my gratitude to His Grace Vamsidhar Prabhu and Janama Priya Mataji, who have been very close friends to us and very close to our hearts. And they also gave us moral support when we had our deity welcome in 2004. We have lost a close friend, a sincere devotee in his passing away. And now I would like to also pay my homage to him by offering a poetry for him, which I just composed today morning. It came just spontaneously from my heart. Just small effort, insignificant effort. I hope His Grace Rasikacharya Prabhu could share the screen so that while I read it, yeah. So, dear Vamsidhar Prabhu, when the flow is that of water, it goes by the name called river. When the flow is that of time, it goes by the name called life. Time will wait for none, but it's a race that you have won. By surrender to that one, the one and only one, who has control on time and made your life sublime. Krishna is his name, whose nature is divine, an ocean of pure love, to his abode you have gone. Vamsidhar Prabhu dear, in life you have been clear. In love to serve Lord Krishna and his devotees dear. Prabhupada built a house where all can come to live. By serving his mission great, you entered his heart straight. In gratitude we bow to you with all our love. In ever indebted to you, Lalita Priya Devidasi and Radha Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for that beautiful poem, Radhapati Prabhu and Lalita Priya Mataji. And now I request His Grace Murlidhar Prabhu to kindly speak, and His Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu to kindly be ready to speak next. And I request all the devotees that we are running out of time. At 8:30, His Holiness Radhanath Swami will join us in speaking. So please let us try and be little more brief. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My obeisance unto my spiritual master, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and all the assembled Vaishnavas here. Just 2 days back, when I came to know that he is admitted in hospital, I just wanted to meet him. So I took permission of Dwarkadish Prabhu and Janma Priya Mataji. I said, can I go and meet him inside? So Dwarkadish said, please go meet him. When I went to him, He recognized me. He said, "Oh, Haribol, Murlidhar, come here." And then he was just speaking his heart out. He was saying that, see, few days back, I was doing my exercises. I was following a diet. I spoke to Gurudev also. And then again, I'm back here in the hospital. This liver has really killed me. He says, material nature doesn't spare anyone, not even a devotee. I was just listening to him, and in my heart of heart, I was just praying for him. And after 2 days, I hear the news early in the morning that he has left his body. I went to pay my respects to him early in the morning on that fateful day, Saturday. And Madhana Prabhu was waiting for his body to be taken out and then to be transported to Belapur. So he just made one statement. He said, "Murlidhar, we have lost a lion." And that immediately struck me. I said, yes, Vamsidhar Prabhu was really a lion in life. And I was trying to meditate on, what is a character of a lion? Like a lion who roars. So Vamsidhar Prabhu was like that. He was a preacher, a very, very terrific preacher. He built the entire Belapur congregation single-handedly, whether it is book distribution or whether it like, preaching. He was so ferocious, so aggressive, all for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. So he was a lion in that way. Also, the lion is always hungry, always there. When he's there, he's passion. So he was always hungry for opportunity to serve Guru in his mission, to serve Vaishnavas, always ready for any assistance, whether it is a financial assistance, maybe a physical, whether anybody needs, an emotional support. He was there, always eager to serve, always eager to serve, always hungry for some opportunity for service. You would never find Vamsidhar Prabhu just sitting at one place and doing nothing. When he's around, you would always also be enthusiastic because you see him so hungry for something, some services here and there, and you could find him in that way, very, very almost, every any opportunity he gets, he would be there to grab that. Always caring, just like a lion, though extremely ferocious, always cares for his cubs. Similarly, Vamsidhar Prabhu was always caring, very soft at heart. Said that anyone, any of his god brothers needs any help, he was always there for them. He was always there for his dear counsellors in Belapur. He was always there for any fellow devotees, asking for help. He is always there, always caring. And like a lion lives a royal life, he lived like a life royally, life a loyal, full of royalty. Well, whatever you do, bindas. He says, Krishna ka das, bindas, Maya ka das, sada udas. Never afraid of anything. Never afraid of anything. He always liked to feed us. Wherever we would go, like, he was like an elder brother to us. Whether it's Govindas or GV, he would just say, okay, Murlidhar, what you want? Come on. We'll have pizza, we'll have this, we'll have that, like that. So, lived a life, a royal life, actually. Lion, I wanted to make an acronym. LION. Lion, L stands for life. His life was full of dedication, full of service. He never lost a single opportunity for service. He said, my life is fully for Guru's mission. He said, my house after we leave the body is for the temple. He says, everything, whatever I Murlidhar is for Guru. Whatever Guru says, I will do it. All for Prabhupada, everything. So, that's what his life was. I stands for inspiration. He would inspire everyone through his personal life, through his example. I was very inspired by seeing how he took care of Janva Mataji when she was going through that illness. He left everything and was just taking care of Janva Mataji. That's all. That is a great inspiration for me. That is taking care of the spouse when the spouse needed the most. And the same reciprocation was from Janva Mataji when he needed the most from her. So this was what was his qualities. Inspiration. O stands for opportunity. He grabbed those opportunities, as I said, whenever it rose, whether it's for maybe a GV project, or whether it's for the Annamrita, or it's for the Yatra sponsorship, or is it for the cows, or raising funds for any aspects, for TOVP, Janmashtami collections, festivals. I do not know whether every one of you know, but then he was the person who sponsored Lalita Vishaka. When Lalita Vishaka came in 2004, I suppose, he is the one who sponsored Lalita Vishaka of Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir. He is the one who gave that Lakshmi for the Lalita Vishaka deities. N stands for nurturing. He nurtured the tender creeper of Krishna consciousness within the heart with regular watering in the form of guidance from his senior god brothers like Gauranga Prabhu, Radha Gopinath Prabhu, Govind Prabhu, and time to time, moment to moment instructions from his spiritual master, from his heartfelt blessings from his Gurudev. So he nurtured that within his heart, and that came in outside in the form of wonderful congregation in Belapur and wonderful contribution in his life for the mission of Srila Prabhupada. I have lost a very, very wonderful senior brother in my life. I really miss him a lot, and so much in my life, personal life, he had helped me. He would always share his thoughts and feelings, and I would always speak whatever I felt with him. And we had so many wonderful moments together. I only pray and hope that I can imbibe some of the qualities that he has and he had. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Murlidhar Prabhu. And truly, we remember him as a lion, and he was really a one-man army for Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. And with that, I ask His Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu to kindly speak, after which we will have Her Grace Janva Priya Mataji, and we will follow this with the slideshow, with the video on the life of Vamsidhar Prabhu. So over to Radha Gopinath Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. If I have to summarize Prabhu's life, Vamsidhar Prabhu's life, I would say in 2 words, just gratitude within heart and externally manifested as full-fledged dedication. Basically, I met Janva Priya Mataji first. She was coming to the Science program in the late 90s and early 2000. And she expressed, once I had gone to their home, she introduced me to her husband, and inspired them to come. As he said, we're just coming, dropping her and going. And eventually, I had, when his mother was sick, I had gone once. I didn't know, I had forgotten this. He was telling, he would remind me, saying that, do you remember when my mother was sick, you came all the way to Airoli? And that's how I was inspired, and he had once in some sickness, jaundice, and I had gone there. So he would remind me years later, thank you for that. And so humbly, he would always, whenever he would introduce me in the program, the Belapur program or Gita courses and all that, practically his introduction would be more a lecture than my lecture. That was his enthusiasm to actually, spontaneity was another name of his lifestyle, and full of heart. His heart was as big as his self. So he would introduce, and he would always say, "This is my Shiksha Guru, Radha Gopinath Prabhu." And after he met Gaurang Prabhu, his services went to another dimension. And the kind of services he rendered practically in so many other aspects of Radha Gopinath's community projects. Actually, what 26 Second Avenue is to the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, the Belapur program was for whole of Navi Mumbai. That was like the seed from which the whole tree of Belapur preaching grew, as many have already expressed. That was like the nerve center from which actually most of the devotees there have actually been contacted, cultivated, and connected to the whole community. And actually, as I said, his announcements at the end, like another Mahaprabhu was another lecture. It was so spontaneous, and actually that's what made everyone feel a part of the family. More than the philosophy, what we would speak. It was his spontaneous, love-filled announcements, and concluding with 3 times, Haribol, that was like, and his heart reflected his house, or his house reflected his heart, full of Krishna. There is no space for anyone else, anything else, other than Krishna, Prabhupada, ISKCON, Guru Maharaj, and Vaishnavas. Nothing else practically. So that was his life actually. He had no other life other than Krishna consciousness. That's all. And I would tell he was a king of hospitality. We hear in the Srimad Bhagavatam how the king would have performed yajna, and after this coronation, he would give his kingdom in the charity to the Brahmanas, and the Brahmanas would generally give it back most of the time. So in the same mood, at least twice that I once happened to go there, and he had invited, and he wanted me to stay overnight because some programs, late night programs and all that. You won't believe, this has never happened in any household, and I'm sure it will never happen ever except Vamshadhar Prabhu's house. And that is, he actually opened his bedroom. He forced me to sleep in his bedroom, and both Janva Priya Mataji and Vamshadhar Prabhu went and slept in that next room. It was a small room there. I was so embarrassed. And in that room, the bathroom was outside, and here was the attached bathroom and all that. And as usual, best of items was cooked. And there itself, after my japa, wonderful breakfast would be provided, so sumptuous. Practically lunch and dinner was also together along with breakfast. That was his heart, and that was his, hospitality. So truly, his house was actually for devotees. And I would just share one incident of his infectious enthusiasm. And this was really shocking to me. I'd never seen this. Actually, under his building, outside the building in Belapur, and there was this December marathon, and he was waiting, and there was a cartoon load of books coming. a lot of cartons of books were coming, and all of them came, and it was being unloaded. So a lot of devotees had gathered to probably move it, shift it upstairs and all that. So people started gathering. People who were walking around started gathering because it was just what happens in India when everyone can stand. So when people were standing, he started speaking about the importance of books and all that. So one man, he asked, "Matlab, ye kya hai isme?" He made the mistake of opening his mouth. Fortunately, he made that mistake. New man. And that person, said, "Kya hai isme? Kya? Boxa mein kya hai?" And instantly, he picked up the box and handed it over to him. "Ye tumhara hai, le jao." Aisa baad mein return, you give the money later if you want to buy, or you take this home. 30 Bhagavad Gitas within that carton. He just handed him over. And he said, "Ye dusra hai Bhagavatam, lene ke baad ye bhi le jao. Ab baato, nahi baato, le aao. Mahine ke ant mein le aao." And that person was like speechless. He just kind of took it. He couldn't refuse. With a person like Vamshidhar Prabhu speaking, there's no question of refusing. So, in between, due to some very, very inconceivable circumstances, situations happened in Navi Mumbai where somehow situation turned up in such a way that it appeared that our relationship was a little bit strained. And I was just kind of kept quiet, waiting. And a few 2-3 months later, there was a program at Shanmukhananda Hall where I happened to go, and he was there. And in the interval, we came out. There was a drama going on. Interval, we came out. And first time I saw, very much unlike, he just kind of broke down. He broke down, and we forgot about the drama. We came out, sat there just outside that Shanmukhananda Hall, and we had a very, very heart-to-heart talk, and he expressed, and I also expressed my heart, and, actually it wasn't anyone's fault. It just happened. Situation turned out to be like that. And after that, I am so happy. I felt so happy that we could do that. And this time when I went to meet him at his house, when he was lying down right at the feet of their lordships, I only put my head down at his feet and begged for forgiveness, that not understanding his nature, not understanding his style of expressing his dedication and gratitude. In case I had, in my immaturity, and that's my I'm not kind of a manager, so in my interactions with him or certain decisions, probably he had felt hurt. I specifically went that day, and I didn't want to go to that last journey because I want to see him as Vamshidhar. I know him. So he, as Radhapati Prabhu said, he actually skyrocketed from one particular time into, like becoming a mentor, a servant leader of the mentor system, eventually a counselor. I hardly heard him speaking any philosophy. I never heard him speaking any philosophy. But he lived the philosophy. He actually lived every bit of that philosophy throughout his life, and even in his departure, be accepting the situation. It is said, behind every successful man is the hand of a woman, and Her Grace Janma Priya Mataji is that saintly woman, such sweet-hearted, such loving, truly a saintly person at heart, who amazingly supported a personality, boisterous, spontaneous personality like Vamshidhar Prabhu, and how he reciprocated that by absolutely serving her truly being in the mood of serve another servant in her sickness. And even the last days when I had gone to the hospital, I was expecting another, but when I saw Janmapriya Mataji, the way she kind of was trying to understand and accommodate, accept, and I am sure that if it was the other way around, he would not have. It's been very difficult for him to kind of survive. So Krishna has, in his inconceivable way, taken him first. And I only am praying, and all the communication devotees are with Janmapriya Mataji, and I pray to Gopinathji to give her the strength and the intelligence to see this in proper perspective and move ahead in my life. Jai. His Grace Vamshadhar Prabhu ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Radha Gopinath Prabhu, for your candid sharing. And now I request Her Grace Janva Priya Devi Mataji, to kindly tell us your experiences, your lifetime with Prabhu. We are waiting to hear, and we know you have been the backbone of his life, and it is your parents who actually brought both of you all to Krishna consciousness. And for that, I remember Prabhu was always eternally grateful. He was so grateful, so respectful to your parents. With that, over to Janva Priya Mataji. And after that, we will have the slideshow. Hare Krishna.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimati Radhanath Swami Iti Namani Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami. Prabhu was a very emotional and caring person right from the day I saw him. His only goal at that time, before we came to Krishna consciousness, we were married for the beginning stages of my life, or even before we got married, his only goal was that you have to serve my mother very well. You have to please her, and she has done so much for me, for our family. She has brought us up with great difficulty. So you should adjust to her and you should please her. She will never ask you to do something, but you have to see that things are done properly. So if you are ready with this, condition, then we'll get married. So I said, I'm totally ready for this because I love to be with elderly people right from my childhood. So I said, yes. So he was very loving and caring to all the people in the house. He went abroad, earned a lot of money, and whenever he used to come, he used to buy gifts for all his brothers' children, sisters' children, and he used to make prasadam for them, make sweets for them, whatever they like. In this way, he was that kind of a person. That was his nature right from the beginning. It was because his parents had brought him up like that. So all credit goes to his parents also for giving him all the good qualities. When he was not in Krishna consciousness, obviously he had all material association and he enjoyed with them, saw life that way. But when he met the devotees, his life completely changed. My father and my mother and my father brought us to Krishna consciousness. Actually, they were counsellors of Muralidhar Prabhu and they were serving very nicely in the temple. My Prabhuji took his time to come to Krishna consciousness, but when he came, he was fully convinced. He was very much inspired by Prabhupada starting the movement at the age of 70. And whenever he has to inspire anybody in the counseling group or anyone who is just somehow got steady in Krishna consciousness, he used to always repeat this message. Prabhupada did so much for us at the age of 70. So at this age, in our young age or middle age, we should do our best. So we cannot imitate Prabhupada, but we have to follow his footsteps. As devotees say, he used to love Prabhupada. I don't think he has read Prabhupada Leelamrit fully, but he was very much inspired by Prabhupada. And he loved Guru Maharaj very much. Guru Maharaj was always in his heart. Many times he used to say, always be thankful to Guru Maharaj for everything that he has given us. And his motto was think big. Many of the things which I am speaking is already told by the devotees. He heard in one lecture that if we can touch the sky, if we try to touch the sky, maybe we can touch the roof. So that was his motto: think big and do the best for Prabhupada's mission. And the way of his expression was like when for material things, for example, like we want a job, we want a promotion, we want some increment. So for that, we go out of the way to do everything to please the boss. So when we have come to spiritual life, we should have the same attitude that I should do my best so that my Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada will be happy with me. So we should not leave any stone unturned. So this way he became a perfectionist. Whether it is placing a small flower in the altar, or even placing a book, or whether he is cleaning his clothes, till the end he never allowed anybody to clean his clothes. He said, as long as my body is fit, I like to clean my clothes and I like to dry it. So he was totally independent. So there was a servant to clean the clothes, but he never did that. And his passion was, at least every Saturday, he used to prepare poha for the Lord, for Gornitai. Then other days I don't get time. So this is a service for me for the Lord. So every Saturday morning, gathering all the vegetables, cutting it very meticulously, everything, and he used to put his heart and soul. His thing, what I have noticed in him, whatever he did, he put his heart and soul into it. So if somebody, and he always told me, I am not doing this for any appreciation, whether I am giving donation or whether I am doing some cooking service or I am taking care of you or taking care of the congregation. I am not doing anything for being appreciated. So even if I am misunderstood, it is okay, because I know that from the heart I am doing for Prabhupada. So that was his thing. He had a very dynamic nature right from the beginning of his, of course, maybe birth, because mother used to say he used to be very naughty, and they used to play a lot of pranks, and then very dynamic nature. He is not a person who can just sit in a corner and read something. That was not his thing. But his dynamic nature got molded properly when he came in the association of Guru Maharaj and the association of devotees. He got the mercy. So his dynamic nature got streamlined properly. All the things which he liked to do in his material life, for example, taking people to hotels or giving them gifts, and all those things which he did in his material life, all these things he did the same thing in his spiritual life. But all those things became an opportunity for him to serve the devotees. So I am very glad that because of his nature was molded in such a way that he could use everything in a Yukta Vairagya way. I am very grateful to Guru Maharaj for all the mercy and blessings we received in our time of crisis. In fact, I say that only because of Maharaj's prayers, I have been able to be steady, and I know life is not going to be so easy for me, but still, because Gurudev's blessings and mercy is there, I will be able to continue. I try to remember all the instructions which Maharaj had given in so many Bhagavatam classes, that this place is Dukhalem Ashashvatam, and it is a place of misery, and Padam Padam Yad Vipadam Natesha. So all these things, when we actually go through it, then we know that this is the reality, and it is not just Maharaj giving us a very good lecture and we falling asleep in the middle of the hall and not caring for the instructions which he gave. So these things, all the small slaps which we get in this world actually wakes us up in Krishna consciousness. So it may difficult, it may be a very difficult life for me, but sure, I am very thankful to the Lord that he did not suffer more, because I don't think he will be able to take that much of suffering. And Krishna's arrangement, Maharaj's mercy that I got, that he got such a beautiful association. He came to the hospital and he had we chanted for him, Maharaj chanted for him. There was always Kirtan going on. Jagannath Baldev Subhadra's darshan was going on. So he was spiritually taken care of very well. The spiritual care department took care of him. Every doctor, every attendant, everyone in the Bhakti Vedanta hospital took care of him. And those who were not part of the medical team, all of them prayed for them. And there was a group of devotee doctors who were all the time discussing with each other how to improve his health. And there are so many devotees, I cannot even name them, because if I name some of them, then I may just be offensive to others. But one or two names I have to take one or two names. One is Gaurang Prabhu, who took the decision that I should bring him to Bhaktivedanta Hospital. And another is Gaurang Prabhu's mother, who gave us shelter throughout my stay in Meera Road. And one is Sri Gaur Kirtan Prabhu, who has been with me throughout. Even now he is with us, and he is trying to help me in all the bank matters. What else can I do? This is all I have to say. So many things can be said, but many of the things which I want to say, all of you have already covered seeing him. And thank you very much for everything. And please pray for me so that I will remain steady in devotional service. Of course, Prabhuji had some misunderstanding with devotees, and that also later on he realizes is all for my purification. And he was quite repentive, and he tried his best to make up with those devotees with whom there was some misunderstanding. And Radha Gopinath Prabhu, yes, Radha Gopinath Prabhu was always in his heart. Shiksha Guru, we can never forget. Because of his presence, because of his encouragement, he started our Krishna consciousness. Murlidhar Prabhu, Nitya Krishna Prabhu, pillars of Sion congregation. Whatever we did in Belapur is all just a branch of Sion congregation. Sion congregation is our mother, and we are the children of Sion congregation. So I'll be eternally grateful to all devotees who have took care of us in all this. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Janva Priya Mataji. We are with you at this time of your grief. But I also want to say that what a glorious departure Prabhuji had. Just like you mentioned, he left his body in the most auspicious time, Brahma Muhurat, on a very auspicious date. And he had all the devotees chanting for him with Ganga Jal in his mouth, Tulsi, everything. You made the arrangements, all the devotees made the arrangements with all the Mahakalans. And I know that you, Mataji, you told him, you whispered in his ear that Prabhu, don't think of anything else. Just think of Krishna. Don't worry about anything else. This is the biggest thing that you could have done for him, the biggest service to him. Thank you so much for your example, for your shining example. You truly are the most ideal wife. Hare Krishna. And now we move on to the slideshow. And I wish that Sridham Sakha Prabhu is ready after this.
Oh, hey, Vashna. But I have another event.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, we are very grateful to you for all the services you gave us everywhere, whether it is Annamrita Foundation or Govardhan Village. And I still remember in Jagannath Puri, when the Govardhan Ashraya, people were coming to register themselves, and daily were coming to the counter and asking me how many people have registered. And I told you also, Maharaj, this is what it is, the story.
Vaishnava Thakura Dayada Sagara Edase Koruna Kore Diya Pada Chaya शोध हे आमार दिव्य पद छाया शोध हे आमार तुमर चरण धोरे वैष्णव ठाकुर दयार सागर हे दासे करुणा करे छाया बेगदमी छाया दोष शोधि छाया गुण देह दासे छाया बेगदमी छाया दोष शोधि छाया गुण देह दासे छाया सत्संग देह है आमार छाया सत्संग देह है आमार बसची संगीत से ये काकी आमार नाही पाएब हरे नाम संकीर्तने ये काकी आमार नाही पाएब हरि नाम संकीर्तने तुमी कृपा करी सदा बिंदु दिया तुमी कृपा करी सदा बिंदु दिया देह कृष्ण नाम धने कृष्ण से तुमा कृष्ण दीते पारो তোমার শক্তি আছে কৃষ্ণ সে তোমার কৃষ্ণ দিতে পারো তোমার শক্তি আছে আমি তো গঙ্গা ওই বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली दायित्व पाछे पाछे आमी तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली दायित्व पाछे पाछे वैष्णव ठाकुर दयार सागर हे दासे करुणा करे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा
Hare Krishna. Thank you for that beautiful slideshow. And with that, I now ask Sridham Sakha Prabhu to kindly give your offering. And I request all the devotees, please be brief because we have very little time left. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So I thank Baldev Prabhu for giving me this opportunity to speak about this wonderful devotee, Vamshidhar Prabhu. And I offer my obeisances to Gurudev and all the assembled Vaishnavas. So actually, when we came to Krishna consciousness, we were fairly new at that time. Krishnanand Prabhu used to meet us, and he used to always express this desire that there should be preaching in Navi Mumbai, and he felt that there's a lot of potential there, and he expressed his desire. And as a result, I really feel as a result of his desire, two wonderful Vaishnavas, two soldiers arose there. One was His Grace Madan Murari Prabhu, and second was Vamshidhar Prabhu. Vamshidhar Prabhu actually burst on the scene. He literally burst on the scene somewhere in the late 90s. I remember we were attending, I think, Srila Prabhupada's Appearance Day festival. And at the end, when, the Pushpa Abhishek was being done, at that time, there was this devotee, suddenly very loudly, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, very loud. So I was very taken aback, the enthusiasm, the loud, powerful voice, booming voice. It reminded me of Mahaprabhu Prabhu, and I thought that, here is another person who's come, to assist Mahaprabhu Prabhu. And, many people spoke about the fact that how he used to make these announcements in the Science program 3 times, very specific, very unique way of enthusiastically, welcoming newcomers, welcoming all the devotees, and glorifying the speaker of the program. Of course, his contribution to the Navi Mumbai zone, we cannot even imagine. He invited Gaurang Prabhu several times, started doing some very large-scale programs. He invested his personal money. It's not that it was coming from elsewhere. He was putting his own money, and as many devotees said, it was about creating a fantastic experience. Everything that he did was about creating a fantastic experience for the Vaishnavas so that they feel attracted to the movement. He's a very powerful leader, and we can see his stamp actually in that entire zone from Airoli to all the way to Panvel and Uran. Vamshidhar Prabhu is a very powerful leader. All the devotees, the senior devotees in that zone, entire belt, they recognize and understand what was his contribution and what was his role in that entire congregation. He was also like a father to his own counselees, and very loving, very compassionate. He pushed them forward for services. He pushed them for initiation. Very generous. A lot of devotees spoke about this. He would take us to Govindas for prasad. Even in the all councillors meeting in GV, he would sometimes invite us, to offer this blue drink. Some in that slideshow, there was one photograph showing some devotee sitting with him having that particular blue drink. I don't know what that is. He used to enjoy it, and when he used to enjoy it, he wanted everyone around also to enjoy it. So he would say, "Chalo, you also have." He said, "No, Prabhu, we're very full. We had a good prasad." He said, "No, you must have," and he would force us. Very generous. Another very important aspect of Vamshidhar Prabhu was that he was very unpretentious. He had no pretensions. He never tried to modify himself. He never tried to put on a show. He was himself. He was himself in all situations. He didn't try to, show that, okay, I am like this. So whatever was in his heart was on his face and in his actions. Very unpretentious. Of course, a very larger than life figure, like someone mentioned that already we lost Venu Krishna Prabhu in this Navi Mumbai congregation, and now another larger than life figure lost, who had a very, very big vision. His vision was big, his actions were big. He always looked to expand the preaching, bring in more devotees, more funds. I mean, fund collection, I doubt there's anybody in this congregation who had the kind of fervor, the kind of vision, the kind of, it's one thing to be a visionary. It's another thing to do it yourself. To distribute books yourself, to collect funds yourself. He used to do it himself. The vision was big, it was bold, it was fearless. He was not afraid of anything. He was not afraid to speak his mind. He's not afraid to, do big things. He's to push devotees to think big. Even the drama festival, he always had this desire that drama festival is happening in a very small hall. We should have it in Shanmukhananda so that more people can attend. And he was very systematic. I think Keshav Prabhu mentioned that, extremely systematic in the way he would approach donors. He didn't like to do a slipshod manner. He wanted to do it very, very thoroughly. He would, make presentations and everything very nicely, very systematic. A sold out soldier to Gurudev, to Srila Prabhupada. And especially he loved Gaurang Prabhu as well. I think this is something which was he was very close to Gaurang Prabhu. Attended all his Srimad Bhagavatam lectures. Very uncompromising person. He was uncompromising. He would not, I would not make. And if he didn't agree with something, he would very vocally express his reservation, which is a beautiful thing because he did not believe in keeping it in his mind. He would always say, I don't like to, keep it in my mind and then talk behind someone's back. I prefer to tell on the face that I don't like something that you're doing. He was fearless to express. And that didn't stop him from serving, and the fact that he's unhappy, there were like Muralidhar Prabhu mentioned, there were phases where he was unhappy. I think Gopinath Prabhu also mentioned he was unhappy about certain things. But it didn't stop his enthusiasm. It didn't stop him from serving. Even if he was unhappy about certain things, as far as service was concerned, he was always full enthusiasm. So a wonderful devotee, wonderful elder brother for all of us. We used to call him boss because, very often he would call devotees boss. And because he called so many people boss, people started calling him boss. And whenever we would meet and say, boss, how are you? Kaise ho? How are things? So I'm just wondering that whom will we call boss now? We have lost a wonderful devotee. And I pray that, Shri Radha Gopinath and all the congregation devotees of Navi Mumbai, can carry forward his grand vision, carry forward his desire to bring more and more devotees to Krishna consciousness, distribute more books, collect more funds for Shri Radha Gopinath, and support Her Grace Janama Priya Mataji in every way possible for the rest of her journey. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Sridham Sakha Prabhu, for your heartfelt offering. And now I request Her Grace Braj Leela Mataji and His Grace Nitya Krishna Prabhu, please kindly present. But I beseech you to please be brief because we still have many devotees left who would like to speak. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. My humble obeisance to Guru Maharaj and all the Vaishnava devotees. As the name suggests, Vamshidhar, he was carrying that Vamshi to preach Krishna consciousness, to spread the Krishna consciousness in everything in a big way, not a small way at all. You always used to do, even prasadam, you should see that the prasadam quantity, quality was such that it should inspire others so that they can come again. And he was such a dynamic, he was daring, and he was a one-man show. Where there was preaching, somebody did not come, he used to go and sit on Vashasana and he used to deliver the lecture. And when there is, for research making, there is no people available, he used to go himself to his kitchen and he used to see that the prasadam is made properly. So whatever he did it in a very big scale. And he was true to his words, thought and action. He never compromised on his thought, his words and action. And he never criticized anybody. He always praised everybody. And his very important slogan is that Mayadas Sada Udas, Krishnadas Bindas. Even his passing away from this material world, he showed how he was never Udas, but he was always Krishnadas, so he was always blissful. One incident I would like to tell that recently when I had gone to a temple, to the hospital, that time Janama Priya Mataji was introducing me to somebody else. And she was saying, he is my counselor. So immediately Prabhuji corrected. Don't say he is my, he say he is our counselor. So even the consciousness which was there even during that time is very, very important. So he did not want anything for him. He always thought of others and how to please others. So I can still appreciate whatever he has done for our Guru Maharaj, for the ISKCON and Prabhupada in general, and the voice he had. He was like a lion roaring, but at heart he was very mild, and anybody could approach him. And whatever the mistakes he would try to find, he would try to see that it is corrected at the same moment, not making offended. So I wish I had some of these qualities. I pray at the feet of the Lordship to bestow their blessings on Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can I say? I think all the qualities of Vamsidhar Prabhu has been repeated. I mean, already been told. There's nothing more. But one thing was he was fearless and outspoken, and also he didn't tolerate injustice to devotees. He used to fight for that. He used to give his opinion openly, and he used to speak boldly. He was very bold. He used to speak boldly. And whatever he did, he is up to 100% used to do. So that's all I can say. And I pray to Sri Sri Radha Gopinath that wherever he has taken them, of course, he will be continuing his services as a lion only there also. And we like to follow in his footsteps also. And I pray that Lord Gopinath will give strength to her Janapriya Mataji and continue her services following in the footsteps of Sri Vamsidhar Prabhu, and which she will definitely do. She is very strong in Krishna consciousness. My humble obeisances to Srila Gurudev and all the Vaishnavas. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Prabhuji, Mataji. You all have been extremely instrumental in the formative years of the Krishna consciousness of Janvapriya Mataji and His Grace Vamsidhar Prabhu, and we really thank you for that, your contribution towards that.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
And now I request
Hare
Bal
Bol.
Swarup Prabhu, and after that, Sri Sakhi Mataji to kindly be ready, and I request you to please be brief. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. My respectful obeisances to my Guru Maharaj and all the assembled devotees. Vamsidhar Prabhu possesses many qualities, and today I would like to dwell upon some of his prominent qualities. One of the qualities he possessed was he was a magnanimous soul, and you know that he was black in complexion. So he often used to tell me, "Hum kale hai to kya hua, but dil wale hai." And truly, he was a magnanimous soul, and his heart was big enough to accommodate all of us in Navi Mumbai. I remember distinctly when I shifted to Navi Mumbai in 2008. I didn't know anyone here. I got his number from some devotee, and I called him. So when I called him for the first time, he said, "You can directly come to my home and stay with me at CBD Belapur." And this was really unbelievable. We didn't know each other then, but he extended himself so much for me to make me feel home. So since then, our relationship was like that of a father and a son. So after a few years, when I felt sick, I remember my family was not around, and he came to my home. He took me to his home, where I stayed there for almost 4 to 5 days, and I got recovered. But at that point of time, both Vamsidhar Prabhu and Janvapriya Mataji saw me like their child for 4 to 5 days. I also remember when I decided to buy a new home at Navi Mumbai, he came with a few lakhs of rupees to help me in down payment. And it's not only with me, but with everyone in Navi Mumbai. He reciprocated like this. And that's why he holds a very special place in everyone's heart. He developed in Navi Mumbai a community where everyone we can stay together like a family and practice Krishna consciousness together. He also developed a very, very good relationship with everyone, irrespective of age, be it a child or old person or a brahmachari. And that was primarily because of his friendly nature and helping nature. You know that Vasudeva Kutumbakam, that was his mood. And he would consider everyone as his family member. He would take everyone along with him in book distribution or any event, even for a prasadam, everywhere he would take everyone and he would conduct program. I remember we know that Radha Gopinath temple is so far away from Navi Mumbai, and we were missing that kind of atmosphere in Navi Mumbai. So he created a temple away from temple, Radha Gopinath temple. He created an environment like Radha Gopinath temple at Navi Mumbai, and gave us an opportunity, ample opportunities for seva. So I just give one example of cooking seva, which we would start early in the morning on Saturday, every Saturday, which would last up to 5 p.m. and then we would go home. We would come back again for the program. We would stay till 11 o'clock in the program. So entire day was filled with so many sevas. And in this way, he created oasis in the desert like Navi Mumbai, which is far away from Radha Gopinath temple. He never compromised in quality and quantity as well when it comes to serve Srila Prabhupada. I remember he would often tell me, what we are doing for Srila Prabhupada is nothing in comparison with what he has done for us. So in gratitude, we should do all our program in a way to uphold the name of Srila Prabhupada. I still remember he said, anyone who comes to the program should leave the program with the appreciation and gratitude for Srila Prabhupada. And to give such experience to everyone, he never compromised with the quality and quantity of the program. And he's known for his uniqueness. He's unique in many ways. He's unique in his action, his decision, and his approach. I remember everyone knows that how impactful his announcement was, his kirtan was, and he was unique in book distribution as well. We remember he would set up a big pandal, large pandal in front of Balaji temple, where all Navi Mumbai devotees would assemble and do book distribution. Entire day we would dance in kirtan and distribute the book. He would arrange for prasadam for everyone throughout the day, in the afternoon as well as in the evening. So he would convert. He knew the art of converting every event into the festival. So that was Vamshidhar Prabhu. He was unique in fund collection, as many devotees have mentioned, and he was unique in rewarding the people for his seva. You know that he would reward with trophy, and you go and visit everyone home in Navi Mumbai, there will be at least one trophy with his in his home. And I remember he even gave it one trophy to an auto driver. He was a Muslim background, and he gave it to him a trophy. So in this way, he would make all of us feel that we have achieved something in reciprocation with our little seva. He was unique in temple. For example, you know that the idea and concept of a big home temple altar that comes from him. He has a temple big, like 6 feet long and 5 foot tall in his home, and he inspired all his councillors to have such a big temple. So if you visit Navi Mumbai and devotees' home, you would find a big, large altars and big deities everyone's home. He was in his seva, he was like a Hanuman. He believed in making a giant leap like Hanuman. I remember one humorous pastime with him. We were returning from, it was a hot day in the month of May, and we were returning from Radha Gopinath temple after a Sunday feast program, and we wanted to have ice cream. So we entered an ice cream shop, and I ordered my favorite flavor of ice cream, one scoop. And I asked him, what would you like? What is your favorite flavor? So he ordered 6 to 7 flavors. And I told him, are you eating here, or you are taking home? He said, I will eat here all these scoops. So he ate all the scoop. For example, 1 spoon of ice cream was equivalent to 1 scoop from him. So every step, it was like a giant step for him. He conducted GCL in Navi Mumbai. It was the first Gita Champion League in Navi Mumbai, where the highest number of participants took part, and he took care of each and every student participating in this Gita Champions League. And you know that he was one of the main leader in Radha Gopinath temple. He not only organized as a leader, not only organized the big program in Navi Mumbai, but he developed all of us in organizing this program at our respective places. Now we have 6 to 7 centers apart from Belapur where program is going on. So all these centers are like offshoot of CBD Belapur, which he started. And he also developed in preaching by giving us opportunity to deliver lecture in the program through mentorship and to counselorship. I remember at last, some of his key instructions, which are reverberating in my mind always. The first instruction he gave us: comparison, criticism, and complaining are the 3 cancers of the mind. So avoid them. Second instruction, which I always remember, that serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada without any ulterior motive. And third one, you all know that Maya Das, Sada Udas, Krishna Das, Bindas. And he was truly a Bindas devotee and bold devotee. So he would be always known and remembered for his enthusiasm, for his uniqueness in seva and organizing big events, for his generosity, for his fatherly affection, leadership, and he would be always remembered as an example of dedication to serving Guru and the mission. He was like my father, and we would miss him forever. We will always remain grateful to him, indebted to him for what he has done for us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for those beautiful, sweet memories you have shared, Bal Swarup Prabhu. And with that, I now request Her Grace Sri Sakhi Mataji to give her offering, and Her Grace Anandini Sundari Mataji to please be ready to speak next.
Hare Krishna. My humble obeisance to Sri Radhanath Maharaj, and my humble obeisance to all the assembled Vaishnavas. There are no words to describe my gratitude to Vamshidhar Prabhu. He was a very special person to my family. He was a moral support to us. He was very dear to Venu Krishna Das. Both were like brothers with very good bonding. He was the one who introduced us to the Airoli congregation. Vamshidhar Prabhu was a person full of joy, happiness, and a person who was very positive in his approach. He was very appreciative. He had very valid solutions to whatever problems he came up with. With full enthusiasm, he would execute all his services. He has always served the congregation. In his famous words are tan, man, dhan. He used to always say, jo bhi karne ka hai, tan, man, dhan se karo. He used to say, whatever we do, we have to do it with full conviction. We have gone to a lot of yatras with Prabhuji and Mataji, and all the yatras were very, very memorable. Even before we bought tickets for my daughter's marriage, he had already purchased his tickets, 3 tickets. Just imagine his enthusiasm. And he was a fatherly figure to my daughter also. Even when he came back from hospital this time, he just, it so happened that I had called him, and he called me back, and he said, Mataji, you know something, my condition was very bad. I was already on my way to meet Venu Krishna Prabhu. But all the prayers of Guru Maharaj, of Radhanath Maharaj, and all the Vaishnavas have brought me back to my house again. That's what he said. He said, no, Prabhuji, we can't afford to lose you also. He had a very, very glorious end, I should say. And really, really, he was very, very fortunate soul. So many people were chanting for him, doing special prayers. And because he has done so much to the congregation, we were all very, very obliged, and we were all very happy to do for him whatever we could do from our side right now. So his end only reminded me of a beautiful shloka of Kulashekar Alvars in the Mukundamala Stotra, where they say, Shatruchadaika mantram sakala upanishad vakya sampujya mantram samsarottara mantram samuchita tamasa sanga niryana mantram sarvaik swarvaika mantram vyasana bhujaga sandashta santana mantram Jihve Shri Krishna Mantram, Japa Japa Satatam, Janma Safalya Mantram. I can say Prabhuji has made his life Janma Safalya by just being in contact with this holy name, by chanting and people chanting for him. He's made his life Safalya. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity, Mataji, to talk. Thank you, Haribol.
Hare Krishna. I thank you, Mataji. And now I request Anandini Sundari Mataji to please give your offering. After which I request Anand Ram Prabhu and Shashi Manohar Prabhu to please be ready. Please be brief. We have a few minutes only.
Hare Krishna. Humble obeisances to Guru Maharaj and all the Vaishnavas. Airoli Congregation program was started in 2010 by Vedmata Mataji at my house, and after that when we wanted to start it in a Balaji temple, she told me to call Vanshidhar Prabhu and ask for a speaker. So on my request, Vanshidhar Prabhuji personally came to Airoli and he introduced me with Venukrishna Prabhu and Sri Sakhi Mataji, and he told me that they will take care of congregation and he will be giving the lecture. That time he supported me like a father and he was very happy. He said that initially we were staying in Airoli and we are very happy to see that some small congregation program is developing here. So there are many things which as a neophyte I can learn from him. He was very enthusiastic, supporting, happy-go-lucky, and yet very humble personality. And he had a great quality of appreciation. Though I was doing very little for congregation, he used to appreciate me like anything, which made me, motivated me to do many things for the congregation. He was very good organizer. He used to think very big to organize big Kirtan Mela, children's program, book distribution, everything. He always kept all the Navi Mumbai congregation together so that we all felt like, you always feel like a family. He was very vibrant and ready to help everyone. There are many things which we can talk on him and many other qualities. All the senior devotees have talked about him. But I can say only we have lost a great supporter and motivator, and no one can fill this loss. And I pray at the lotus feet of Radha Gopinath to give strength to Janava Priya Mataji, and saying thank you to all of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Anandini Sundari Mataji. And now I request Anand Ram Prabhu to please give your offering. After which I request Shashi Manohar Prabhu and Madan Murari Prabhu to kindly speak and be brief. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam to all devotees, and please accept my humble obeisance, Guru Maharaj and all the devotees. Great devotees leave behind inspiring memories and teachings. Now, this is just not a saying with Vamsidhar Prabhu. On the day of his departure also, he left a moment of inspiration. Like he was there and we were all there visiting, and there was this, I came across this person, elderly person by the name Mr. Dixit Lu, and he was sharing his memory that Vamsidhar Prabhu happened to meet him some years back, and this is an Annamrit story actually. And he was telling about how the midday meal programs are being organized, and he showed some interest. And the very next day, Prabhuji had calls him and he says that I'll be there at your right at your place. I'm bringing my car, and can go to the one of the kitchen, and you can we can directly go there and have a visit. And he was so enthusiastic that Mr. Dixitlu was unable to say no. He went there, and enthusiastically Prabhuji showed all the kitchen of Annamrita. And when he had just made a gesture to know about this program, and Prabhuji was so enthusiastic in implementing this, he like once he decides, then there is no moment of hesitation, or there is no thinking back. And Dikshitlu was telling on the same day of this passage, while he was taking the darshan of Vamsidhar Prabhu, that I was really obliged to make a check and give it to him. So this is like one of the teachings, like great people, great visionaries give us. He is a kingly leader. Actually, many people said he's a king. He is like a lion. Yes, truly, he has. And the great quality of a leader is that he generates leaders who will succeed him and support him. And he supported them at every stage. So now in Navi Mumbai, because of his guidance, his approaches, his tactics, his guidance, so many congregation programs, devotional programs are there. And the great part of it was he used to be omnipresent. There was no program where we could not feel the presence of Vamsidhar Prabhu. And it was like remarkable. He was there, and especially in the start of the new congregation programs, I remember in Khargar, where programs had started with the help of at Santosh Nimai Prabhu's place and Balsurupla place, at my place. Prabhuji happened to visit each of our homes and used to encourage and guide us. And used to say, we have a vision. We should dream like Prabhupada. We should have at least 20 centers in Navi Mumbai. And yes, we are on the way. And definitely his guidance and exemplary actions will definitely be inspiring to us. And some of the things become, some of my personal experience with him was when on my marriage day, I went to invite him for my marriage, and he said that actually I would love to, but then I was instruction from Govind Prabhu that I should stop attending marriages. I have to slowly plan for my Vanaprastha, and then it was a little not a very good emotion that I had to share. I wanted his presence and Mataji's presence for the kind blessings. But then because he said we cannot be present because of this instruction we have received. So immediately after marriage and the reception on the day, we happened to, on the way back home. So we first visited Prabhuji and Mataji. And as the devotees are saying, the generous gesture of the person, spontaneously he takes one of the very, very rare photographs in his home. The image of Srila Prabhupada is still there as a momentum from him, and he gives it to me. It's a very large size photograph, very rare, very not easily available photograph. And he says, this is for you, Anandram and Dvijpriya. And unforgettable experience. And during my time of the first marriage anniversary, we used to have a lot of programs, of course, but we never used to have a program where devotees, already existing devotees, would calmly and have a piece of time and have a nice Ishtagoshti. So we had a small discussion. I was just expressing like, is that can we have an opportunity where two counseling groups, that is Madan Murai Prabhu's counseling group and your own counseling group, we can all have a nice Ishtagoshti. And then he was spontaneous. He said, my home is open. And so then he opened his door, which is a Vaikunta actually. It's one of the Bhuloka Vaikunta, to both the counseling groups. And it was a very nice Kirtan program and a nice prasadam and a feast organized for all the devotees. Next was one of the moments, like the concept. This is a very rare concept I've never heard in ISKCON. That is something called as a joint grand deity welcoming program. And this, we never understood what was the vision. Slowly I am able to understand, like each one of the devotees have a deity welcoming, and then the different days, different people will be welcoming their deities, and entire congregations are coming. So there will be so many multiple programs. So he said, let us have an exemplary program. So like that, we had like 3-4 years, we had a big mega size joint grand deity welcome program, like 3-4 devotee families were welcoming their deities. So again, I'm very obliged to Janva Priya Mataji and Vamsidhar Prabhu for helping us to welcome the deities at our home and many other devotees. Also, I also see Vamsidhar Prabhu as a very great team player. That is like when the CDD in Navi Mumbai was formed. So we were very apprehensive, like how will Prabhuji cooperate? He's very senior, and we are comparatively new and younger people. but he never made us feel like that. And when the time came as an instruction and appeal from the temple that all the senior devotees, even if they are initiated, should do an IDC course. And coincidentally, I had this opportunity to organize a IDC course, and Prabhuji said one day that I would like to enroll for this course. And then for the first time I could see how good he is a participant. So whatever activity he does with a full flow. And he was one of the teams. And coincidentally today I met one of the participants in the team in the IDC course, and he was telling like Prabhuji was actually demonstrating how to do book distribution. They were given a skit in the IDC course. Groups were given some skits, and in the skit their group chose how to do book distribution, and Prabhuji took the lead role. His most fond service of book distribution, he was directly demonstrating how you should do book distribution, and they did a very nice skit. And I was like thinking like, oh, so even senior devotees can, such senior devotee can take up this such nice role of doing this, being a very nice participant. And a small request from Mrinali Mataji, who is a real daughter in spirit, and she has requested to speak some 2-3 lines. And I know there's shortage of time. And she says that all the girls, the devotee girls whom they got married, they see to him as their actual father, and they have helped. He has helped them very in all their aspects of life with love. And not only that, the devotee boys who are getting married, he is also very considerate that he welcomes their wives as his own daughter-in-laws. So all the devotees, all the children, all were actually were in spirit relatives for him, and always helpful. So Vamsida Prabhu, yes, we will definitely face his physical loss, but I would love and pray to Sri Radha Gopinath Ji that I will always remember his memories and teachings, and by his teachings, instructions and demonstrations, he will be always with us. And by his this instruction, like everybody speaking, this Mayaka Das, Sada Udas, Krishna Das, Bindas. So we'll give you a very solace to be pushing our ISKCON movement in the further years. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Anand Ram Prabhu, for your sincere offering. And now I request Shashi Manohar Prabhu and Madan Murari Prabhu to kindly give your offerings one after another. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. My humble obeisances to His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, my spiritual master. My humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas. So my association with Vanshida Prabhu started in 2009 when I was introduced by Balswarup Prabhu. And in the very first meeting, even though he didn't know me, he embraced me so tightly and with so much love and affection that I was surprised how much love and affection he has even for devotees who are not known to him. And immediately he asked me to take a rented flat in his society. And that was my great fortune that I got to stay very close to him for almost 3 years. And during those time, I got to see the wonderful Vaishnava qualities which Vanshida Prabhu had. First of all, I got 2 benefits. One, I was immediately engaged in devotional service in Belapur congregation program. And I could see Prabhuji's dedication, devotion for the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Even though he was facing so much challenge from the society members, he was facing non-cooperation from devotees who would not come up for the program on time. And even they would not come for the programs. But still he was whole and soul in conducting the programs. And his dedication, his preparedness for programs, his enthusiasm became the gold standard for Navi Mumbai congregation. The second benefit which I got by staying very close to him was the personal association. He would call me in the morning for chanting. We would chant together. He would read from Srila Prabhupada books. We would have breakfast together. And that close association gave me so much of his spiritual nourishment that became the foundation of my spiritual life. He also encouraged me to give lectures in Hindi. And he would point out so many mistakes and rectifications, which I'm very grateful to Vanshida Prabhu. He was very jolly, very happy. But whenever I used to give lecture, I used to be very serious, very grave. And he was always encouraged me to be happy, be smiling. Yes, Vanshida Prabhu, you brought a smile to my face. You brought a smile to so many devotees in Navi Mumbai congregation. And you were part of every family considers you part of their family, and you consider everyone to be part of your family. You imbibe the feeling of Vasudev Kutumbakam. You never called your home as your home. You always called it is 603 building number 3 or Prabhupada's quarter. You never had attachment for anything material, and as everybody mentioned that you always wanted devotees to be inspired by Prabhupada's dedication. What he did at the age of 70, you always mentioned this, and you gave inspiration to all of us. Thank you so much. Because of paucity of time, I am stopping my offering. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much for being brief, Shashi Manohar Prabhu. And now I request Madan Murari Prabhu to please speak. And shortly we will have Gurudev, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, give his offering. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My obeisances to Guru Maharaj and all the devotees. Dear Vamshidhar Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Prabhuji, I can't believe that I am writing a Shraddhanjali offering to you. Very hard to believe that you are no more with us. First, Venukrishna Prabhuji left us due to COVID, and now you. Certainly, it is a tough time for Navi Mumbai devotees to bear your loss. Although your shining example will continue to inspire us always. What can I say about you? Like others have mentioned already, that you are such a dynamic personality, expert in every field. Let it be book distribution, arranging big programs, fundraising, and in a grand way, leading the entire Navi Mumbai congregation by being a huge support to each and every devotee here. But one uniqueness was that you could connect to each and every devotee, let be old one, middle-aged person, or a little boy. You can very well connect with them and be their friend. You are endowed with so many wonderful qualities that it would be difficult to express it. But what I have admired is, although you are a so busy person in the temple doing a lot of services and work commitments, because they were very huge, yet you so beautifully knew the art of caring for your family. Many a times you tend to take family members, we tend to take family members granted if we are too busy. But the way you cared for Janma Priya Mataji has been so very inspiring. We got to witness this from your initial days. Whatever you did, you always saw to it that Mataji is comfortable. I remember you once mentioned that I wash my own clothes daily. Why should I trouble my wife for that? And you continued doing it till you went to the hospital. After Mataji went to that big health crisis, you took such wonderful care of her. Daily chopping the vegetables for her, helping in cleaning the house so that Mataji doesn't have to do much. Even during our conversation in last few months, not once did you speak about your physical pain, but you only concerned with Mataji's health. In all these years, we have attended many marriage ceremonies and heard how a role of husband should be that providing physical, emotional, and spiritual care to his wife. But you are a shining example of this. Not only did you love and care for Mataji, but you were so inspired by her and you always felt proud of her. In our last conversation over the phone, just a week before your departure, you were glorifying Janma Priya Mataji so much, saying that how strongly she stood and faced this calamity all alone. All this appreciation shows how you respected her. Such combination is very rare to find someone who is serving in the front line for so many temple projects, yes, being so sensitive, loving, and caring for his family members. Thank you, Prabhuji, for all your love and affection for all these years. We are very grateful to you. We pray that we can serve you through serving Janma Priya Mataji the way it would please you. Seeking your blessings, your servant Madan Murari Das and Madhvi.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Madan Murari Prabhu. And now I request His Grace Baldev Prabhu to just say a few words, even though he was very cognizant of the time being short. I request you to please speak, Baldev Prabhu, and after that we will have Guru Maharaj speak. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for organizing this memorial. I hope I am audible to everyone. Yeah. So my connection with Vamsidhar Prabhu happened around 18 years back when I was told to do youth preaching in Navi Mumbai in 2003. We went to a empty flat in Nerul where Gauranga Prabhu, myself, and few brahmacharis went and broomed the whole place. It belonged to Dayanidhi Prabhu, and we wanted to start some youth preaching there. And the whole day was gone in cleaning the place. So Gauranga Prabhu just called Vamsidhar Prabhu, who had also shifted to Navi Mumbai that time, and told that there are some brahmacharis here who are very hungry, so please feed them. So he got a very big feast all the way from his home to the Nerul base, and he served all of us. That was my first meeting with Vamsidhar Prabhu. And Gauranga told him that, now this Baldev Das will come to preach here, and then you kindly help him in taking care of devotees in the base. And since that time, 18 years down the line, Vamsidhar Prabhu has through and through helped us so much in the youth preaching. So many devotees who came in the base, they got so much of love and appreciation from him. Many of the devotees in the base gradually became grahasthas, they became his counselors, and the journey is still going on. Actually, it's very difficult to speak about. I still feel where should I start and where should I end. 18 years down the line, I've been serving along with him in Navi Mumbai for many, many years. And as I see that many devotees spoke beautiful pastimes, stories about him, how he could connect a chord with even a small child and up to great spiritual masters also. And I felt like that because he was very childlike. A child is always appreciated by anyone, right? From a small child, children would appreciate a small child. Even the elderly people also appreciate a small child. Vamsidhar Prabhu's innocence was like a child. I could see that innocence coming up. In spite of his leadership position in Navi Mumbai, he always maintained that childlike position. I'll just give you some small briefs of how he was a childlike person. One day I was in a Belapur program, and this happened many times. I'm just giving one program. So I was sitting with him and I was honoring Prasadam, and he was going around all devotees and talking with them, and he came and sat next to me. And with me, next to me, were all base devotees who were also taking Prasadam. So he was talking to me, and he just picked up one papad from the plate of one base devotee and he ate it. The base devotee got shock of his life. He was thinking, "Are such a great leader, he's taking my Mahaprasad, And he was so shocked. I could see the whole face of my devotee from the base, that he's eating prasadam from his jhuta, from his leftover, that papad which is already beaten by him. He took that, Vamsidhar started eating it. And nonchalantly, he ate something and he felt it's not so good. Again, kept it back in the plate. You eat now. So that was Vamsidhar Prabhu. You just cannot believe what he will do next. Childlike innocence. I also remember many years back when His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj was about to leave for America. So Vamsidhar Prabhu got a bunch of kind of notes, lot of rupees, and he told Maharaj, please take. Maharaj was about to enter the vehicle, about to go to the airport. Maharaj, please take. So Maharaj asked, what is this? And Vamsidhar Prabhu said, this is pocket money for you, Maharaj. So Maharaj said, I don't have pocket and I don't need money. Hari Bol. So that was the innocence which Vamsidhar Prabhu carried, where he could actually get into anyone's heart very easily. And there are so many beautiful anecdotes of how he would connect with each and every devotee in the congregation. Sometimes he would have tough decisions to take and he would be having little bitter relationship. But the next day he was always there. You could see him sometimes offering obeisance, full obeisance on the road, even to devotees whom he had fought with. So this was Vamsidhar Prabhu, an amazing Vaishnava, and it's a very, I still do not believe that I am attending a memorial of Vamsidhar Prabhu. I'm just thinking that Vamsidhar Prabhu is down there somewhere in Navi Mumbai in Belapur, and when the pandemic is gone, then we'll have many programs with Vamsidhar Prabhu inviting us, and we'll invite Vamsidhar Prabhu to our programs. So Ekaki Amara Nahi Paya Bal. Actually, everyone in our temple, in our Navi Mumbai congregation is feeling this, that Ekaki Amara Nahi Paya Bal. We were all working together with Vamsidhar Prabhu. Now how that will happen anymore in the future? So with a heavy heart, we have really lost a very important person amidst us, a caretaker, a fatherly figure, a friend, and this loss is irreplaceable. And there are many devotees who actually did not join the memorial today for speaking because they just could not speak I could say Gaurang Prabhu is one such example. He's a very vivid speaker. He can speak so long, but he spoke very less. And I know that he was, after his speech, he must have really cried behind his laptop. In fact, on the day when he left his body, Vamshidhar Prabhu, I got a call at 9:30 p.m. from Madhvanand Prabhu, and he said, I'm feeling so heavy after losing Vamshidhar Prabhu, just called you just to open my heart and hear from you. So there are so many devotees in our congregation who are really feeling a big loss, and just hoping and praying that Krishna gives us strength so that we can go ahead and serve Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj without Vamshidhar Prabhu, but taking his spirit in our life. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Baldev Prabhu. And now I request Guru Maharaj to kindly take over, say a few words, share your wisdom with us. Our souls are pained by this loss. Please share some words of solace, Maharaj, and you may do Kirtan after that if you please to. Thank you. Over to His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirbhishesha Shunyavadi Paschatati Shatarine Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patithanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
વંશીધર પ્રભુ આપણી આખી કમ્યુનિટીને સાથે જોડવામાં બહુ મહત્વનો ભાગ ભજવ્યો છે એમના ભક્તિ દ્વારા, એમના કમ્પેશન દ્વારા, અને એમણે દુર્લભ અદ્ભુત કોન્ટ્રીબ્યુશન કર્યું છે. જેમ કે ઘણા બધા ભક્તોએ કીધું, જે વૈષ્ણવ આ ભૌતિક જગત છોડીને જાય છે, આપણા હૃદયમાં ઘર કરી જાય છે. આ વર્ષે ઘણા બધા આપણા પ્રિય ભક્તો જે રાધા ગોપીનાથ કોંગ્રેગેશનના સભ્યો હતા, આ ભૌતિક જગત છોડીને ગયા છે. જેમ જેમ વર્ષો પાસ થાય છે, આપણને સમજમાં આવે છે કે જે ભક્તો આ ભૌતિક જગત છોડીને જાય છે એ આપણા જીવનના અને આપણા કમ્યુનિટીના બહુ ઇન્ટિગ્રલ પાર્ટ છે, જેને અમે ભગવાને ભગવદ્ ગીતામાં કહ્યું નેહા વિક્રમના સ્વસ્તિ. જે પણ ડિવોશનલ સર્વિસ ભક્તિ દ્વારા કાર્ય કરેલા છે એ કદી લોસ નથી થતા. કૃષ્ણ ભક્તિ એ ઇટરનલ છે. આપણું આત્મા જેમ ઇટરનલ છે, એ કૃષ્ણ કોન્શિયસ ભક્તિમાં હંમેશા કાર્યરત રહે છે. આપણે આ શરીર નથી, આપણે આત્મા છીએ. વૈષ્ણવનો શરીર આ ભૌતિક દુનિયાને બહુ મોટી ગિફ્ટ છે, જેના દ્વારા એ ભક્તોને બીજા સાથે કનેક્ટ કરે છે. જ્યારે આ ભૌતિક શરીર દેહ ત્યાગ કરે છે, તો આપણે એમને યાદ કરીએ છીએ અને એમને એપ્રિશિએટ કરીએ છીએ. બંસીધર પ્રભુ અને બીજા બધા ઘણા બધા ભક્તો જે આપણા કોંગ્રેગેશનના સભ્યો છે એ આપણને છોડીને ગયા છે. એ આપણા આ કમ્યુનિટીના સભ્યો છે જે કદી આપણાથી અલગ નહીં થઈ શકે. આ ભક્તોએ આપણા કોંગ્રેગેશનમાં ફાઉન્ડેશન અને એક સ્તંભની દ્રષ્ટિએ કાર્યરત હતા. આ બહુ અગત્યનું છે કે જ્યારે ગ્રેટ સોલ આપણને છોડીને જાય છે ત્યારે આપણે એમને શ્રદ્ધાંજલિ આપીએ છીએ એ આત્માને, અને આપણે કૃષ્ણ કોન્શિયસ દ્વારા એમને યાદ કરીએ છીએ કે આપણે કદી બી એકબીજાથી અલગ નથી. જે ભક્તો આ ભૌતિક જગત છોડીને જાય છે એ આ કમ્યુનિટીને સાથે હંમેશા રહે છે અને આપણી સાથે રહે છે. જ્યારે હું ગોવર્ધન ઇકો વિલેજ જાઉં છું અને જ્યારે હું જોઉં છું જે જગ્યા પર જે બી ડિપાર્ટેડ ભક્તોનો ફોટો લગાડેલા છે જે આપણા કમ્યુનિટીમાં જોડાયેલા છે, અને હું જ્યારે એ ફોટોસને જોઉં છું ત્યારે એમના સાથેના મારા જે સંસ્મરણો છે એને યાદ કરીને હું જરૂર એમને યાદ કરું છું. હું વંશીધર પ્રભુને બહુ થેન્ક યુ કહું છું કે એમણે જે આપણા કમ્યુનિટીના બહુ પ્રિય લીડર હતા. વંશીધર પ્રભુને જીવન કમ્પ્લીટ સંપૂર્ણ ડેડિકેશનનું જીવન. એમણે કદી બી કોઈ સેવાની ના નથી પાડી. એમની પાસે એ વસ્તુ માંગ્યું કે જે એમના કેપેસિટીની બહારની વસ્તુ છે એમાં પણ એ કહેતા હતા કે હું આને ટ્રાય કરીશ. જાનવા પ્રિયા માતાજીએ બહુ સુંદર રીતે સમજાવ્યું છે કે એમના દરેક કાર્યોમાં પોતાનું હૃદય અને આત્માને પરોવી દેતા હતા. એમનું એન્થુઝિયાઝમ એ કોઈ રીતે રોકી નથી શકાતું હતું અને એ એક ચેપી હતું કે બધાને એ ઉત્સાહ પ્રેરિત કરતા હતા. એ બહુ બધાના પ્રત્યે દયાવાન રહેતા હતા. જે પણ એ સાંભળતા, જે વાંચતા, જે ભક્તો બનવામાં મદદ થતું એ એમનું હૃદયનું જીવનનો ઉદ્દેશ બની જતો હતો. એ પોતાનું 100% આપતા હતા. એમણે ઘણી બધી સેવાઓમાં અગત્યનો ભાગ ભજવ્યો છે. ખાસ કરીને બીજા ભક્તોને અલગ અલગ પ્રોજેક્ટમાં મદદ કરવામાં એમણે બહુ મહત્વનો પાર્ટ ભજવ્યું છે. એમણે બુક ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુશનને પણ બહુ હિસ્ટોરિક બનાવ્યું છે. એમણે ઘણા ફંડ રેઝિંગના પ્રોગ્રામમાં બી આસિસ્ટન્સ મદદ કરી છે. ભક્તિ વેદાંત હોસ્પિટલને બિલ્ડ કરવા માટે, ગોવર્ધન ઇકો વિલેજ બિલ્ડ કરવા, રાધા ગોપીનાથ મંદિરમાં આગળ વધારવા માટે એ એક ફંડ રેઝિંગના લીડર હતા અને બહુ નીડર હતા. બહુ ઉત્સાહી હતા અને એ પોતાના હૃદય અને આત્માને દરેક સેવામાં પરોવી દેતા હતા. એમની જે પ્રીચિંગ અને જે ભક્તિપૂર્વક બીજા ભક્તોનું કેર કરવી એ બધાના ભક્તોના બધાના હૃદયમાં ઘર કરી ગયા હતા. મને એક વાત યાદ આવે છે. હું જ્યારે શરૂઆતના દિવસોમાં આ પ્રોજેક્ટને ડેવલપ કરવા માટે આવ્યો હતો ત્યારે એમનો ઉત્સાહ જોઈને એ ચાહતા હતા કે બધા આ પ્રોજેક્ટમાં ઇન્વોલ્વ થાય અને પોતાનો ફાળો આપે. અને એ બધાને કહેતા હતા હું શીલ પ્રભુપાદનો કમ્યુનિટીમાં ભક્ત થયો છું અને બધાને ઇન્વાઇટ કરતો કે તમે પણ આમાં જોડાઓ. અને આ નવી મુંબઈમાં શિક્ષા ગુરુ તરીકે અને ગાઈડ સ્પિરિચ્યુઅલ ગાઈડ તરીકે કાર્યરત હતા. આપણી આ કમ્યુનિટી માટે બધી રીતે એમણે સહયોગ અને એમાં પોતાનો સહયોગ આપ્યો છે. જાનવા પ્રિય માતાજી અને વંશીધર પ્રભુ પોતાનું હૃદય અને આત્મા આપણે કમ્યુનિટી માટે સમર્પણ કરી દીધું છે. એ રેગ્યુલરલી મને મળવા આવતા અને પોતાની જે બી સેવાઓ હતી એના બારામાં ચર્ચા કરતા. વંશીધર પ્રભુ એકદમ સરેન્ડર વ્યક્તિ હતા, એક સોલ હતા. જ્યારે જાનવા દેવીને પણ ખૂબ સેવા કરતા હતા જ્યારે એમને કેન્સર થઈ ગયું. એમણે પોતાના આખું જીવન સમર્પિત કરી દીધું એમની સેવા માટે. જે પ્રેમ અને સમય એમણે એમના માટે આપ્યો છે અને એમના પ્રત્યે જે ગ્રેટફુલનેસ હાર્ટ હતું, જ્યારે એમને જાનવા માતાને ખાસ જરૂર હતી ત્યારે એમણે બધું સમર્પણ કર્યું. અને એ જ રિસિપ્રોકેશન જ્યારે વંશીધર પ્રભુને એમને સ્ટ્રોક આવ્યો ત્યારે હું કેલિફોર્નિયામાં હતો. હું જાનવા માતાજી સાથે વાત કરી કે મેં એમના માટે ચાન્ટ કર્યું છે. જાનવા પ્રિયમ દેવીએ એમના હૃદયના જે સિન્સિયરિટી પૂર્વક પ્રે કરતા હતા વંશીધર પ્રભુ માટે, એમની સેવા કરતા હતા અને મને પણ કીધું કે એમના માટે પ્રે કરો કે વંશીધર પ્રભુ પોતાના જીવનના અંતમાં ભગવાન કૃષ્ણ સિવાય કઈ બીજું વિચાર ન કરે એવી એમના માટે પ્રાર્થના કરો. મને બીજું કઈ નથી. જાનવા પ્રિયમ દેવી જ્યારે બધી મદદ કરતા હતા, વંશીધર પ્રભુ પોતાના અંતિમ સમયમાં હતા ને ત્યારે એ જાણતા હતા કે વંશીધર પ્રભુ હંમેશા કૃષ્ણને યાદ કરે છે, એટલે એમણે એ પણ કીધું. અને આ ભગવાન કૃષ્ણનું એક લીલા જ છે કે જે વંશીધર પ્રભુને પોતાના ધામમાં બોલાવી લીધા. આ એક બહુ મોટું એક ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી છે કે પોતાને એમના અંતિમ સમયમાં મોડર્ન ટેકનોલોજીના હિસાબે અમે એકબીજાને જોઈ શકતા હતા. એમ વંશીધર પ્રભુ ઘણા પોતાના હૃદયપૂર્વક આભારી હતા અને એ ભક્તિ વેદાંત હોસ્પિટલને અને એમના દરેક ભક્તોના માટે ગ્રેટફુલ હતા અને એટલા બધા એમને ગ્લોરીફાઈ કરતા હતા કે ભક્તિ વેદાંત હોસ્પિટલ બહુ મહત્વનું સેવા આપી છે અને બહુ પોતાના હૃદયપૂર્વક ગ્રેટફુલ હાર્ટથી સંસ્મરણ કર્યું. અને એમની જે સેવામાં કાર્યરત હતા ભક્તિ વેદાંત હોસ્પિટલમાં એ બધાને મને ઇન્ટ્રોડક્સ બોલાવીને કરતા હતા અને કહેતા હતા કે હું કેટલો આ લોકોનો આભારી છે કે એ લોકો મને એટલી સેવા કરી રહ્યા છે અને એટલું અપ્રિશિએટ કરતા હતા. અને એમને એમના પત્ની જાનવા પ્રિયા દેવીનું પણ સેવાની અને જે એમને સમર્પણ આપ્યું છે એમના જીવન માટે, એમના માટે એમને ગ્રેટફુલનેસ વર્ણન કરતા હતા જ્યારે આ ભૌતિક દેહનો ત્યાગ કરવાના હતા. વંશીધર પ્રભુ દ્વારા ગ્રહસ્થ આશ્રમનું જે મહત્વ છે એમના જીવન ચરિત્ર દ્વારા આપણે સમજી શકીએ છીએ. જ્યારે વંશીધર પ્રભુ હૃદયપૂર્વક વર્ણન કરતા હતા કે મેં મારા ઓફિસ વાળાને કહી દીધું છે કે હું બધી રીતે હવે રિટાયર થઈ રહ્યો છું અને એમને ખબર છે કે હું જાણું છું કે આ ભૌતિક દેહ ટેમ્પરરી છે અને મારે જીવનનું દરેક ક્ષણ અને દરેક શક્તિ મેં શીલ પ્રભુપાદજીના મિશનમાં સેવા માટે અર્પણ કર્યું છે. હું ફૂલ ટાઈમ જે છે સેવા આપવા જ્યારે એમને પહેલી વાર અટેક આવ્યો હતો પછી એ ઘરે આવ્યા તો એમણે થેન્કફુલ ગ્રેટફુલ હાર્ટથી એમણે પ્રભુપાદજી અને બધા આચાર્યોને હૃદયપૂર્વક ધન્યવાદ કર્યું અને પ્રોમિસ કર્યું કે હું મારી લાઈફને પૂર્ણ રીતે તમારા મિશનમાં સમર્પણ કરી રહ્યો છું. અને એમને છેલ્લો જ્યારે અટેક આવ્યો ત્યારે પણ એ બહુ પીસફુલ હતા અને એમના ચહેરાથી એમની આનંદ જોઈ શકાતો હતો. નક્કી એ ભગવાન કૃષ્ણને બહુ ડિયર છે અને જેમણે ભગવાને એમને આ પરફેક્ટ સ્ટેજ ઓફ કોન્શિયસનેસ આપ્યું જ્યારે આ દેહ ત્યાગ કરતા હતા. વંશીધર પ્રભુનું એક્ઝામ્પલ પ્રત્યેક વખતે આપણી સામે રહેશે. દરેક ભક્તોને પોતાના રિયલાઇઝેશન બધા ભક્તોએ પણ અહીંયા કીધા છે. અને ઘણા બધા ભક્તોને જેમણે વંશીધર પ્રભુના જીવનથી બહુ ઉત્સાહ મળ્યો છે, પ્રેરણા મળી છે. હું થેન્ક યુ કહું છું હૃદયપૂર્વક. થેન્ક યુ વેરી મચ. અમે ગુરુ મહારાજને ધન્યવાદ કરીએ છીએ. આપણે બધાએ શ્રી રાધા ગોપીનાથજીને પ્રેયર્સ કરીએ. પ્રેયર્સ ઓફર કરી આપણા ગ્રેટફુલનેસ અર્પણ કરીએ. બધા ડિપાર્ટેડ વૈષ્ણવ માટે આપણે પ્રેયર્સ કરી રહ્યા છીએ.
गौरांग गुणेरा निधि कोता गेले पाबो
Se sangana paya kande se sabasangira sange je koilo vilas
se saba sangila sange je koilo vila
se sangana paya kande narotamodas
se sangana paya kande narottamada
Jaya Nilo Premadhana Karuna Prachur
Jaya Nilo Premadhana Karuna Prachur
Heno Prabhu Kota Gela Acharya Thakur
Ena Prabhu Kotha Gela Acharya Thakur
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe.
Jayo Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe.
Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe.
Jayo Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe.
Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe.
Jayo Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe.
Vanshakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patithanam bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. I express my deep gratitude to dear Gurudev, to dear Janva Devi Mataji, and all the devotees who have shared beautiful, sweet memories of dear Bamsidhar Prabhu. And on behalf of Radha Gopinath Mandir, to all the devotees who have logged on to this program and please forgive all my mistakes. I beg forgiveness for the same. And Vamsidhar Prabhu will continue to live forever in our hearts. And Janva Priya Mataji, we are there with you always. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.